Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your weekly reading with me. We're just going to dive straight into what's going on for you. I always say that and because it's my routine, and then I always forget because this week is actually huge. You're the last sign that I'm reading for just because it's of the order that I do it in. And every single person has something pretty intense coming up during this week. And it's not to scare you. It doesn't have to be scary. It just feels like a massive cleanse or a massive pressures coming through from the universe to get some things released, to liberate yourself in some way, to finalize something. I don't know what it is or how it will show up for you. Everyone's had it differently, but it's just been equally as intense. So it does feel very collective. So let me know how this week goes, even if this reading doesn't resonate, because I really want to know what that energy is that I'm picking up on. And if you guys know astrology, because I don't, then let me know if there's anything going on there or if it's just an energy thing. So let's just see what's going on for you in particular, Pisces. We're just going to start out, of course, with your oracles, because that's my fave thing to do to get an overall energy for you this week. So let's see, please, Spirit. The clock is 1331. I wonder if that's an interesting number for you. Interesting. All right, let's go. For the lovely Pisceans, please, Spirit, for this week, 14th to the 20th, what is going on? What's the energy? Higher power. Really feel like a lot of you guys are tapping into your spidey senses at this time, or needing to. Just because higher power coming through is really about your connection to the divine. And not just that. I mean, you're connecting to a higher power, but your third eye is also opening, meaning that you guys are going to be able to see a lot more of the truth. It does feel like the veil is thin, and maybe that's where the energy is coming from. It does feel like Spirit's really stepping in, but you guys might feel it the most with that higher power. You're going to see a lot of it happening around you. Why? Because your third eye is open. Read between the lines, trust your intuition. All right. If you're seeing signs and synchronicities this week, it is your sign, okay, of whatever. We're going to dive in to it, but it's really important that you're aware, because you are connecting to something much higher during this time. But again, I want to dive a bit deeper into that. You do have loyal hearts on the bottom of the deck, so I always like to bring that up because it could be an additional theme for you guys. So there could be some influence around relationships. Now, loyal hearts definitely feels romantic, so that is an area that could be you could be getting sign synchronicities from, or you could be having this intuitive feeling about. But it can also be just about loyal people. So that could be collaborations, work collaborations, meeting your soul tribe in a way, people who've got your back kind of thing, friendships, all that good stuff. So that could be important as well. But pay attention to your third eye. What are you being told? What is your dreams telling you, right? Because it does feel like the veil is thin right now. So let's see what else is going on though for you. I'm going to get you an animal spirit. I want to see who wants to come out and collaborate. What message do you have for Pisces during this time? Okay, Badger spirit, be fearless and bold. Okay, and another number 4. 4s represent home life, family life, maybe even your roots, childhood, all that kind of stuff. So that could be important, but it definitely represents in tarot, because that's astrology, but it represents in tarot like stability, your foundation. So that could be an area where you are being called to be fearless and bold, or again, really about solidifying your basic level needs, necessities. I don't know. Let's see how it comes out. But you're being called to be fearless and bold. What else is going on for Pisces? 3 cards out from this deck. Whoa. All right. These seem to be in relation to each other. Financial pinch, career, wheel. If you are struggling in this area, the wheel brings a bit of advice here, because you're allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Some of you do need to get clearer goals. Or if you're having a financial pinch in your career, maybe it's a good time to kind of identify why you're feeling a bit indecisive. Do you need to change your career? Do you need to add something into it to make it more fun? Because financial pinch, maybe you guys are taking some time off because you're like, this is just not feeling quite right. So maybe there needs to be a change here. Or again, maybe you need to get clearer on what you want to do here in your career to maybe increase your finances. So instead of just letting life happen to you in terms of finances, just for someone, sorry, I'm just gonna talk. I'm not gonna apologize, because a lot of you guys have been saying I'm apologizing too much. So I'll stop that. I'm just going to say what I'm seeing here. So if you're having a financial pinch, but you're not changing that, right? Maybe your payment is only just, helping you to get by, but you've not yet asked for a raise, or if you have, then maybe you need to start looking somewhere else, right? It's saying get clear. You don't have to just suffer and accept it. It's time to kind of go beyond that, right? You are the wheel here, so you can get things moving if you want to. But the thing is, that wheel seems to be like, when a wheel kind of just gets lost somewhere, and it just eventually it just has no momentum and just flops. So don't do that. Let's not flop. Let's have clear conviction about where you want to go, a clear direction, and let's move in that in terms of your career and your finances, for sure, because I wanted to come out like that. Okay, so that wheel is very important there. You then have unsuccessful plans, right? A knot. So something could be getting in the way of something when we have a knot here. I don't think that this is like a finalized result. Okay, it feels like maybe you have to untangle something in order to have success. And then you have ladder, climbing towards success. Okay. Oh, you know what they're showing me? One way may not work, but another way would. And what they're showing me is, because I read through visuals, sorry, Spirit. That's the way Spirit knows how to communicate with me, because I love my imagination. But how I'm seeing it is like the rope is not working, right? So someone's giving you a rope, or you've been given a rope in life to climb the ladder to success, whatever that is to you. To climb the rope to success, but that rope failed, right? Something about the rope wasn't good enough, or whatever. It wasn't a rope. It wasn't a good rope. Anyway, but then by looking somewhere else, or maybe even going somewhere to get a new way of going up there and not giving up, is a ladder. So you're finding a new way to get where you want to go. So instead of it being a rope, you're getting a ladder. Okay, much more stable and requires less effort, right? If you think about pulling yourself up on a rope, it's hard. So again, maybe you guys are finding a better way to do something in your career, or any kind of project you guys are dealing with. You're understanding there's a better path with less resistance. And now they're showing me Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks, so go and look into those videos, because they speak a lot about that, going on the path of least resistance, or it doesn't have to be so hard kind of vibes. Anyway, interesting. Climbing the ladder of success. Love that for you. So let's dive into a tarot then, because my goodness, my brain is just going crazy. So trusting in your gut instinct actually might help you see where you need to go. Okay. Anyways, and your dreams, for sure. Okay, Pisces. 2 cards out, please, for the energy of the week for Pisces, Spirit. What is the energy of this week? How will this week be? The Lovers. I love how that came up on top of be fearless and bold. So some of you are being called to, be fearless and bold in terms of love, but of course it can represent your choices, because that's what the Lovers can mean as well. Okay, so making bold choices. Okay, dokie, hold on. Let's get one more for the energy of the week for Pisces. Energy of the week for Pisces. The 10 of Swords. Now that's interesting. 3 of Cups. Some of you, just a little message just because of the cards coming out here. It's not the main one, but it's one I do feel cool to share. Some of you could be ending a relationship at this time, because as I said, the Lovers is about a choice. Maybe it's your choice, I don't know, but the 10 of Swords being here is a definite ending, and a painful one, or a difficult one at least. Now, what else? If it's about choices in general, you could really be, again, like similar to that rope, you could be accepting a defeat in some way, that, okay, that way didn't work. I have to completely shut that door. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go a different way. That could be you releasing an old sense of self. I'm going to clarify, because I think it'll make more sense for you, so you don't have to listen to me trying to find a billion ways that it will resonate. But again, the 10 of Swords is a complete ending. He's got all these swords in his back. There's no coming up from this. However, you can still change and evolve outside of this, but this needs to be, that door needs to close. Okay, whatever that is in your life. It could be backstabbing and betrayal, like I was supposed to say, in terms of love or anything. Okay, why is the Lovers here as the energy of the week, please? Why is the Lovers here? 3 of Cups tried to come through again, but this time it's in reverse. A lack of success, for sure. What is the Lovers doing here? What's the Lovers representing for Pisces? Okay, that's interesting. What I'm getting here as well, what's really interesting is right now there's very big choices going on in whoever I'm reading for's life, where we're having to kind of understand the difference between short-term success and happiness, and I'll explain that in a second, and long-term success and happiness. 3 of Cups always suggests, and I would never tell you differently, always enjoy the journey, right? Life is too short to only be happy when we reach milestones, right? Why not just be happy every day in between the chaos, right? And some problems are great problems to have, like if you want to reach even bigger goals in life, then let's just be blessed that we reach great goals already. Like that's still good. Instead of just stressing about where you're going next, be grateful of how far you've come if you're able to, because everyone has a different story. But I'm just saying, always loving the journey and being grateful along the way is always a message I would always give. And it's a choice to do that. It's not easy, especially when life feels crazy. To have to focus on the good or choose to focus on the good is hard. But what I want to say, God, so many messages coming through, Spirit, I can't do it. Like, I can't deal with it. What I was going to say is that Three of Cups is like, for example, getting money and kind of just spending it straight away instead of working towards a long term, right? That would be only working for short-term gain, like I just want to be happy now. There's a bit of a difference with that of being a bit frivolous or not being very responsible or not building the big picture for your dreams. And why am I saying this? Well, because this is what it's about. Because Ten of Pentacles is long-term success, loyalty, right? And I think maybe you're getting rid of people who aren't giving that to you, for example, people who cannot bring that. And Three of Cups, again, maybe it's friendships, and maybe you're making bigger choices on friendships, because Five of Pentacles could suggest, whether in love or in, your community or whatever, that, oh God, that maybe right now what you're feeling is left out. Maybe that you don't have very supportive people around you, or that whatever you're choosing is not supporting your long-term stable dreams and goals. So as I was saying, Three of Cups, maybe you just, go out with your friends and you go and spend all the money and maybe you're pressured to, I don't know. But the Five of Pentacles again is like a lack or a loss of finances. Anyway, so your choices are very important to kind of give you the difference between a lack in your life and a much more stability and abundance and having more than enough, So if you want to increase your finances, making better choices. If you want to have more stability in your career, again, making better choices. If you want to have, more stable relationships or friendships, you have to be making better choices there, whether that's choosing different people or whatever. Just making sure that things align to your long-term success seems to be very important. Okay. Okay, well then let's dive into the Ten of Swords. So what is this ending going on this week? What is this finalization? What's this completion? Difficult one. What is this Ten of Swords representing? The Knight of Swords, King of Swords as well. I mean, this could be a very difficult conversation. The Knight of Swords. You could just be putting an end to something so that you can maybe it's just like to do with, I wonder what it is. I'm going to try and dive a bit deeper into it, but swords are all about thoughts and ideas. Maybe you guys, I know this is not the typical meaning, but maybe you guys have had so many ideas. It's kind of, you've been very weighed down by something, but now you're kind of starting to take action on it. That's just for someone out there. But it does feel like you're starting fresh again with like less to lose this time. I don't know what they mean by that. I'm going to see. Right, because always in a Ten of Swords, there is, not in this one, but the sun is always rising in the distance, which represents a new day, right? Okay, there is always a new day. Knight of Swords, determination, rushing ahead, could be a messenger that causes an ending. It could be getting a message about it. Let's see. What is the Ten of Swords? What's this completion represent? What is this completion? What's this ending? What is ending? What is ending? Six of Pentacles. That's interesting. Queen of Cups. So Six of Pentacles with a harsh ending, I mean, could be related to career. Maybe some of you are being denied a promotion or something like that. That's the only way I could put it. Or again, you guys are putting an end to an imbalance in your life where maybe there's been some unrequited relationships or friendships, whatever. When I say relationships, I really mean any kind of relationship or dynamic, whether it be work, whether it be colleagues, whether it be friends, whether it be lovers, whether it be family, whatever it is, relationships in general. Because with Ten of Swords, I mean, maybe you've given a lot to things that just don't give back to you. Like it's getting tiring now, where it's maybe you felt backstabbed. Maybe you gave someone money and it didn't pay you back, that kind of thing. what you're doing is through a harsh ending, you are learning a lesson about balance and reciprocation and paying attention to what you give your time and energy to. So for some of you, you could definitely be getting really started in new habits and routines that are going to be much more rewarding for you, right? That could be what the knot is. You tried already to do certain routines. It was unsuccessful because it was too much work, right? There is an easier way to climb that ladder. Well, not just to climb the ladder, but to get where you want to go. You see what I'm trying to say? So whatever it is, it relates to this. Okay. I hope you see what I'm trying to say, because I don't. I'm just seeing a picture. I have no idea how this might show up in your life. So please let me know in the comments. But let's dive into your energy. How are you showing up? What's the energy of Pisces during this time? What's the energy of Pisces during this time? What is the energy of Pisces? Okay. The devil, addictions, temptations, comfort zones, things that keep us tied down. This is something that we need to break free from. It could even be fear, old ways of thinking. Don't know why that's coming through. Responsibilities, right? Let's see. Why is that? No, not just that. We're not going to clarify. We're going to get another card. What is another card for Pisces energy this week? How is Pisces showing up this week? The Three of Swords and a Four of Cups. That's interesting. The Hermit being that Virgo energy. You're gaining wisdom for sure, and needing maybe to look at things from a different perspective. And the Four of Cups could definitely be, I want to say things like greed, but I don't, they're showing me like the devil being representing some sort of seven sins in some ways. I'm not saying you guys are sinners. I'm just saying that there is something going on there. Like I'm picking up, no, I'm not going to say it. Four of Cups can sometimes be a comfort zone. That's how I see it. It's like I'm fine here. Even though I always see this card as like, always you want the 10 of Cups, right? You want complete fulfillment, but some of you are settling, and that might be what it is, the comfort zone. It's like, oh, I could accept this cup, but no, I'm good where I'm at, even though I do want a 10 of Cups and I should start growing things, and accepting new things in, but nah, not right now. That's how I see it. Okay, like it is a card of rejection. And maybe that's what you're feeling. Some of you could be feeling heartbroken over rejection, or again, some of you might be dealing with fears around love. I don't know how it will show up just yet. So let's clarify, shall we? Why is the devil in Pisces energy? What is this doing here? The Five of Cups, disappointments, focusing on low vibrational energy. With like I guess fear definitely is one of them, or shame, or guilt, or engaging, in certain things, because she's already upset, so she's just kind of spilling everything. Maybe it's a little bit of a self-sabotage going on here when you're in this energy. Okay, one more for the devil in Pisces energy. What's this doing here? It could also, of course, be about responsibility. Look at the devil just being here again, just to confirm. All right, the moon, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Love that. So this is almost like your remedy for the devil energy. And it really is the moon. There are some deep, dark feelings going on. Shadow side, right? Could just be your way of thinking or belief system is coming from scarcity, the devil, fears, whatever it is. Definitely an emotional thing going on for you guys. It definitely feels like it's more because you got the King of Cups, the moon, the Five of Cups around the devil. So it's something to do with your feelings being low vibrational in some way, whatever it is. Eight of Wands is the right direction, which I really feel like that King of Cups is asking for you to balance, understand, give grace to your feelings, your shadow, in order to enlighten it in some way, to balance yourself, to not allow that to get the best of you. And again, King of Cups has been coming up a lot recently about your spiritual practices. So spending time in stillness, whether it's meditating or just enjoying nature, like connecting to yourself is so important with the King of Cups, because he understands everything about his feelings. He doesn't judge them when they come up. He observes them and let them be, because those feelings represent waves. Usually he's in the water, and when feelings are like waves and there are big waves coming through of disappointment or whatever is plaguing your mind or heart, which we'll get to, it can really knock you off the throne. So it's almost like it's almost like gaining control or power back over these feelings, or over that devil, over the fears, over the temptations, over the addictions, whatever it is in your life. Instead of dwelling on it, I'm not good enough, like the devil's here, I'm always fearful, I'm stuck. It's like gaining control. It's, why do I feel stuck? Where is this coming from? Understanding it. Anyway, whatever it is to you, King of Cups is asking for your emotional balance at this time. Probably by addressing that moon. What are the hidden feelings going on? Why do you feel that way? And the Eight of Wands, all right, which is really, really good about things moving in the right direction, things getting clearer for you, things actually progressing and moving forward. And then it reminds me, we have the light and the shadow here as well. And it always reminds me of a story. Again, I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember it fully, but it's someone saying that it's a story of someone saying that everyone is fighting a battle inside, and two wolves inside are battling in everybody. You got the light and the dark, right? Our shadow side and our light side. And the little girl asks the dude who's saying, well, which wolf wins? And the answer is whichever one you're feeding it. So if you're feeding that devil energy, I feel like it's just really about starving that devil energy. Not engaging it, not dwelling in it, but rising above it with observation. That star here reminds me of an animal spirit that says everything is possible, something like that, or endless possibilities. So I feel like not just accepting one possibility, and not accepting disappointments. It's like, okay, let's do something. Let's unchain ourselves. However you need to do that, I don't know. I hope you guys are understanding the reading. So let me know if it resonates with you. So let's dive into the Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords here in Pisces energy? What is the Three of Swords representing? The Hermit again, interesting. So definitely some reflection over things that may maybe create some pain for you. The Hermit, maybe you feel quite alone, for example. The Star and the Hermit both are connected to the divine. The Star is about hope. Some of you guys may have been a bit heartbroken. It may have, affected your hope in some way. But the Star is also about healing. So the Hermit could just be some advice here. In order to heal and reconcile or find peace and harmony with some heartache and some pain, it's to spend some time within yourself to look at it from a different lens. Why is the Three of Swords in Pisces energy? What created the Three of Swords here? What's the heartache created by? Two of Cups, a soulmate connection to do with love. Okay. So why is the Four of Cups here in Pisces energy with the Three of Swords? Ten of Swords. So maybe there has been an ending. Now, again, it's interesting that it's come up on top of those two, isn't it? Because it's like there can still be success in love, however you play it. It doesn't have to be so hard. So instead of climbing the rope, it's time to find the ladder. Ten of Swords. Let's see. We've already have the Ten of Swords as well, so we kind of knew that the Ten of Swords related to that. So Four of Cups, why is this here on its own? What is this representing on its own? Four of Wands, which again can be about a love that does not come up straight. It's almost like blocking it. This could be a good time where you're being called to put yourself out there. Because Four of Wands again is like 1111, wish fulfillment. It's a card of engagement. It's a card of community at times. Coming together of people. A party, like a gathering. And I wonder if you're rejecting a gathering because of your heartbreak. Or you're avoiding coming together with others because of that. So let's look at your advice then. Let's see what's going on here. What's the advice that you have for Pisces during this time? What's the advice for Pisces during this time? What is the advice for Pisces during this time? All right, let me just sit and focus a bit. All right. what is the advice that you have, please, Spirit, for Pisces during this week? What do they need to know? Okay, you have the Three of Wands, which is kind of like, okay, it's a good time right now to figure out where you want to go whilst you're waiting for it to happen. Okay, but let's get another one. What's the advice for Pisces? The Hermit again. Okay, we'll clarify that. Well, the Hermit being, again, your advice is similar to what I've already said, which is, again, maybe the higher power is your advice as well. Like, it's time to connect to the divine. And it could even just be to seeing things clearly from a different perspective. You know, usually one other than the one that's sitting in the pain, sitting in the fears or the temptations or whatever that devil is or that fear, and to rise above it in a way, to not allow it to control you. Okay, not allow it to, because it doesn't. The devil tricks you into believing it has more power than you. That's its strength. It's a good trickster, but it's a liar, right? It doesn't, because at any time you can withdraw from it, it's just difficult. And the difficulty and the temptation, which again is what the devil's good at, the fear is good at, and the safety that it promises is what keeps it convincing. But you have way more power always. The light is always stronger than the dark. I always see it as a throne for both. The devil, the fear, or the darkness is always represented by a throne too. But the difference is that the throne is not plugged in to source. So it's just a throne. It just looks good. It just looks powerful. Whereas light is also a throne, but it's one plugged into the socket, which is source, connected to real power. Unlimited. So, okay, with that being said, like, what have you guys got me talking about? My goodness. All right, why is the Three of Wands advice? What is the advice behind the Three of Wands? Be fearless and bold. Page of Swords. It's time to get growing. It's time to get learning. Time to be curious. Again, actually, they're pointing over to this too. Like, it's time to get clear. Okay, and if you don't know, research it. Be fearless, be bold, come outside your comfort zone, use knowledge or your ideas to take you somewhere. As you can see here, it's that sword she's crossing here. So maybe communicate with others. Maybe it's a good time to get clear on your ideas, on your beliefs, on what you want. Okay, as I was saying, let me just fix this camera above for a second. Okay, one more for the Three of Wands. Why is this advice? What's the advice behind this card? The Seven of Cups. Yeah, so get clear on what you want. And I want to say research, but it's not just that. It's like you have a lot of options. So it's almost like it's okay to experiment a little bit with the Three of Wands. Your ships are not quite here yet. You know that, because that card does represent a bit of a delay going on or a waiting. So maybe this is a really good time to kind of figure it out, to pick and see, what works for you and what doesn't. And actually look at that here. I have to show you. There's a ladder under one of these and he's about to pick it. How interesting is that? That's really interesting. Well, okay. So I wonder if the ladder is not something that you're waiting for or shouldn't be waiting for. It's actually within choices that you make, decisions that you make, and of course research about it. Search for information about it. But yeah, okay. And the Hermit, why is this advice? Why is this advice? Queen of Wands. What's the lessons of the Hermit? What is the Hermit advising Pisces? Ten of Wands. Because this is a very heavy card, and I feel like there's almost this sorry, bear with. I am a visual reader, as I was saying. But what they're showing me is like there's a big path ahead, which is great. You got a long life to live still. That's what that means. But it's like you can't expect to keep going down this path with all this baggage. So what the Hermit is kind of representing is almost like you don't need all these things to live a fulfilling life. That's what the Hermit's trying to teach you. What is that? Queen of Wands, or maybe it's just the heaviness of life. That could be what it is. It doesn't just have to be baggage. It's almost like heaviness, because it's then showing me that Queen of Wands being like super inspired and super creative and super happy and super motivated and all that good stuff. But it's because she's free. Okay, this feels like heavy responsibility that you're putting on yourself, or that people are putting on you, or that you're carrying. 10 of Wands, you're coming to the end of a difficult journey, which is great. And you're going to be entering one where there's a lot more creativity for yourself. But the Two of Swords being here too, on the bottom of the deck here, especially with the Death card, is that something needs to change for that to happen. And it's most likely in a choice that you make. One more for the Hermit as advice. Love that. Jumped on top of the Higher Power card. Ace of Swords. Look at that. My goodness. Connect with yourself, for you shall see the truth that you guys are looking for. Look at that. They're both like, that truth is shining out their head, and it's source, it's higher power. What's going on? You guys need to tell me, because it's so vague for me. I don't know what you guys are going through, but it's like, wow. And I love the imagery on this, because sometimes you just have to go down those stairs into the mind. So I wonder if you guys could benefit from like therapy to help you dive deeper, or what's the word for it? Or some sort of meditation that goes really deep within, or some sort of maybe even hypnotizing or something. Like, that's what I'm feeling here with that, to really connect with some sort of core truth. Really is just about diving really deep to find the truth in something. Ace of Swords, clarity. For the Hermit. Interesting. I feel like the Hermit, I mean, it could be a teacher, a mentor, again, someone to help you out, that could help guide you, whether it's a spirit guide already trying to guide you here, because it does feel like the Hermit is a different kind of knowledge. It could also mean maybe you need some time alone to really kind of reflect and to think and to observe and to gain different perspective. But the Hermit feels like someone in spirit. It feels like it's someone outside of yourself here guiding you in some way. It feels like it's here to teach you something. Anyway, my goodness, just remember, amongst all of this stuff, be fearless and bold actually is also that Queen of Wands, by the way. So again, just a nice little thing, not to be so harsh on yourself, to be creative, to be freely expressing who you are and what you're about and what you want. It's almost like the life path of like two different choices of a life path. You can carry on with holding this baggage or all this responsibility, or, you know, now they're showing me the wheel. Okay. Or maybe there's a better way of carrying all this stuff. Like, instead of it being one that you have to carry yourself, I don't know, getting a car. Some of you could be getting a car. Anyway, my goodness. Or you can be more free-spirited and more yourself. Queen of Wands tells me that's your energy, right? It's yourself. Okay, my angels, let me know. Let me know how this resonates with you, if it did. But aside from all that, have an incredible week. Good luck to everybody, because as I said, everyone had an intense reading for sure. There's not one that got away with it. So just say you're in the same boat as everybody else, just in different ways. So check in on all your friends and peeps. All right. Anyway, love you. See you guys next time. Okay.